employee retention is a huge thing. Like the cost of hiring and training people is huge. So when you lose employees, like the employees take away the knowledge pool, all the training, all the experience with them, and to bring somebody new on board and get them back to the same level, that's a massive expense and loss for the company. So I can totally see how they get return on investment on a service like yours and resolve these conflicts and improve the teams. So what is the most common cause of these conflicts in your experience?
That really depends. Often, from what I experience, what it boils down to is the personality clashes. It's really topics of not feeling respected, not feeling valued. It can also sometimes be really bad communication styles, really bad leadership styles as well. It can be conflict of interest in the sense of somebody feels they deserve something and they don't get it, or it's just, in many ways, not enough appreciation, or not feeling understood, or not feeling seen. So that's often not necessarily what is being said if somebody is asking for help. Often it's more there's the productivity is not high enough, the people are not effective, there's a bad time management there, they can't communicate, this leader is not supportive. Or so there's even like topics of mobbing and harassment, which are of course also issues that then are seen. So everything that's on top of the water, but actually already the outcome, that is often what's then being told, what's not functioning. And often it's really communication is not functioning, communication is stuck, those two cannot work together anymore. So if it's in mediation, if it's in individual coachings and trainings, it's pretty much that. We are going through a big change and people just not dragging along, or we are afraid how to tell the people, or I don't know, this person is not really great in dealing with client complaints. And so it's more really people look at then the symptom, the outcome, and try to find a solution for that. Whereas then when you're working with the person or with the team, you often see that there's so many other underlying topics and skill sets that might not have been considered before. And
It's
also,
very interesting what you said there, that there are like the ego clashes, which I understand. Like my ego is so big, I barely fit on this screen. And then there are obviously the factor that everybody wants to feel appreciated. That's a huge one. So of course that's so true. Like we all want to be safe and everybody wants to be appreciated. So I
yeah,
can
true.
see how that causes conflict when people don't feel appreciated. And
Mm.
then what really stood out though is that there are really bad leadership styles, and
Mm.
that's something I don't really understand actually. Like, how do those people get promoted if their leadership styles are so weak?
I think again, what you're saying is also opening the topic of what do we see? What's behind, what's underlying, what do we want to see sometimes? Who do you like appreciate more as a leader? And in our society here, it's often the people that can do the big speech, that have a bigger ego, that present themselves maybe better. So I think it's changing over time because people appreciate other things. And as we know, demand and supply is also what people want, what people need, will eventually be taken over more and more, or being offered more and more. We do react to needs at a certain point, but there must be a tipping point. And often still, and also in many organizations, you experience people who get to leadership or management positions, I'd like to call it rather, that are good at presenting themselves, that might then also achieve great results in many ways, but sometimes also at the price of stressing out the people a lot, which then leads to overwhelm, which then leads to bad reactions, which then again leads to not having taken the time to reflect on things, on seeing the other side, also maybe being more reactive or more proactive or more responsive to other people because they just really are stressed and need to focus. But talking about leaders in that, I think it's sometimes what we like to see. That's what we then also promote.